My name is Nancy Tucker, and I am the Reference and Instruction Librarian here at Jacksonville University. I wanted to talk a little bit about how to be a successful researcher. The first thing that you want to think about is your topic. So try to select an amazing topic, and when I say amazing, I mean something that you're interested in. You want to make sure that it's something that you're interested in because you will be spending a lot of time doing research on the specific topic. So definitely make sure it's something that you're interested in. Also, make sure that your topic isn't too broad or too narrow. If your topic is too broad, then you're going to be overwhelmed with the number of articles that you find in the database. And it may be hard to kind of navigate all those articles if you're getting way too many sources. But if it's too narrow, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to say, there's not anything on my topic. So definitely make sure that your topic's not too broad or too narrow. And that's where the librarians can come in. We can definitely help you with making sure that you're able to find enough resources on your specific topic. If you're not finding enough sources, we can think about maybe adding additional keywords or broadening your search a little bit. And if your topic is too broad, we can help you narrow and focus your research. And a good tip for when you're thinking about your topic is to run a quick database search before you commit to a topic. A lot of times students will get way too far into their research before they decide that it's time to maybe switch topics. And we definitely don't want you to spend lots and lots of hours being very frustrated. So make sure that you're maybe running a quick database search to make sure that resources are available before you decide on your topic. And is your topic researchable? If there's not a lot of research on your topic, it may be something that you want to conduct original research on, and that's also a possibility as well. But talk with your professor, talk with a librarian, and we'll be able to help you walk through your research process. But always be flexible because your topic may change when you're doing your research. This happens a lot where we think we want to write about one thing, but the research is really pointing us in a different direction. So definitely reach out to a librarian and we'll be glad to help you. It is important to start your research early. A lot of times students wait till the last minute, or they just they don't manage their time wisely. So always start your research process early. As soon as you find out you have a project or a paper that you need to write, just make sure that you're starting your research early. And the research guides really have the best resources for your specific subject or your topic. Again, we're going to be using our library resources, no Wikipedia. You really want to focus on scholarly, academic resources for your research paper. And I mentioned that you'll also want to evaluate your sources. So these are really the 5 things that we focus on when we're looking at evaluating a source. And it could be an article that you're evaluating. It could be a book, a website, a person that you're interviewing. You always want to evaluate your source. So the 5 things you want to look for is you want to consider the author. So who is the author and what do they know? Are they an expert in the field? Do they have a PhD or master's degree in the field that they're writing about or talking about? So you do want to consider the author and make sure that they're a credible, reliable source. The second thing you want to look for is the publisher. So you want to make sure that the publisher is reliable. Anyone could self-publish something. So you definitely want to watch out and make sure that you're finding sources that are credible and reliable. And the sources you find in the library will be credible and reliable, but you also want to evaluate it and make sure that it's relevant to your topic, because we have tons and tons of research available, but you want to make sure it's relevant to your specific research. Date is also something that you want to consider. So it depends on your topic. So usually with health sciences students, nurses, or anyone who's researching technology, we want to find articles that are more current, so within the last 5 years. But for your research, you could probably be a little bit more flexible. The last 10 or 20 years may still be relevant information, but check with your professor and make sure that you're following the guidelines for the specific assignment. Sources. So you also want to make sure that the sources that are cited in the research are credible and reliable. So just like when we write a paper, we provide a list of sources that we've used. Same thing with articles. So if you find an article in the library databases, you want to make sure that they're citing their sources and that they're not just making this stuff up. They're actually showing you where they got their information from. And they're saying, don't take my word for it. Here are my sources if you'd like to look it up for yourself. So it's always important to make sure that the source that you're evaluating is providing their sources. And then bias, pretty much anything could contain bias, but just watch out for that. If you're doing original research, so if you're studying people, you would want to make sure that you follow the IRB rules. So the IRB is the Institutional Review Board at JU. So if you're ever doing like a survey or if you're observing people, you definitely want to make sure that you run that by the IRB to make sure that it's ethical and that you get IRB approval. Once you have IRB approval for studying human subjects, then you're good to go. But that is something to consider in the future if you are doing any original research where you're studying human subjects. You can borrow books from other libraries. I think we mentioned this earlier, so keep that in mind. And then how to cite your sources. So we do have an MLA research guide and we have an APA research guide. Are there any questions?
I just want to say thank you, Nancy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. This was really informative. Thank you.
Wonderful. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and we will be glad to help you. Have a great day.
Thank you.